Every town has its ghost story, but in the town of Dover's Hollow, New Hampshire, the ghost doesn't haunt the woods. It haunts the airwaves. For 23 years, locals have sworn they heard her voice. A late-night transmission cutting through static. A woman whispering for help. No name, no location. Just a single phrase, looping through the noise. Tell them I'm still here. The signal was traced once to a stretch of forest near the abandoned Waverly Broadcasting Tower, the same place a young journalist named Lila Carter vanished in 2001. Lila Carter was 27 when she disappeared. An independent reporter investigating alleged police misconduct in the small town of Dover's Hollow. She'd told her roommate she was heading out to meet a source, someone who could prove everything. She never came home. Her car was found 2 days later, parked by the tree line near Waverly Tower. Keys in ignition, camera on the passenger seat. But the film roll was missing, and one thing caught detectives' attention. The car radio was still on, locked on a dead frequency. Detective Marcus Hale, the original investigator, said it was the strangest scene of his career. Hale with a gravelly voice. Usually when people vanish, there's panic, there's struggle. Here, it felt like she stepped out for air and never came back. The only prints on the car were hers. No sign of forced entry, and no cell signal within 3 miles. But 5 days later, the first tape arrived at the police department. Unmarked, mail from within Dover's Hollow. Inside, an audio cassette labeled Echoes 1. If this reaches anyone, I didn't run away. They're watching. Even now, if you hear my voice, don't trust the police. Voice analysis confirmed it was Lila Carter, the missing journalist. But the postmark on the envelope was dated 3 weeks after her disappearance, which meant either she was alive or someone wanted us to think she was. Detectives traced the cassette case back to a manufacturer in Boston. Discontinued since 1998. They discovered the same kind of tape. Recorder used to make it have been logged as evidence in a 1999 corruption case. One that Lila herself had been covering. That case involved Sheriff Robert Keene, accused of falsifying reports tied to missing persons. It was dismissed due to insufficient evidence. But one of the witnesses in that case also disappeared. A local signal technician, Dean Rowe, last seen near the Waverly Tower. When the police reopened the old evidence box, they found something that had been overlooked for 2 decades. A second tape, unlabeled, still sealed. When played, it wasn't Lila's voice this time. It was Dean Rowe's. She found something she wasn't supposed to. Told me she was going to the tower that night. Said she could hear them, even when the power was off. They ran spectrum analysis on both tapes. Buried beneath the static, barely detectable, were identical audio markers. A faint 60 hertz hum, identical to the one produced by the Waverly Tower's backup generator. That generator had been decommissioned in 1999, yet somehow it was still running for years after. So the team hiked out to the tower. Inside they found dust, mold, and something else. An old CB radio, still connected, still transmitting. And beneath the console, a hidden compartment. Inside it, a reel of analog tape. They played it back. It wasn't news reporting. It was surveillance. Hours of recorded conversations between officers, town officials, and what sounded like Sheriff Keene himself. One voice stood out. If she won't stop digging, we'll make her a signal they'll never forget. For years, the town of Dover's Hollow dismissed the story as ghost radio, a legend that filled the silence. But every voice leaves an echo, and some echoes refuse to fade. When investigators analyzed the final seconds reel, they found something chilling, a background noise no one had noticed before. It wasn't static. It was water, flowing, echoing. They traced the sound to the old reservoir, just 2 miles north of the tower, sealed off since the early 2000s. At 2:43 a.m., a search team broke the lock. Inside the drain basin, they found a rusted camera tripod, and beside it, a human jawbone. Dental records matched Lila Carter. But the real twist came hours later, when the state lab restored the final seconds of Echoes 1. Beneath Lila's voice, another voice emerged. Faint, male, recognizable. It was Sheriff Robert Keene, and he wasn't threatening her. He was pleading, "Please, Lila, don't make them erase me too." Because what the town never knew was that Sheriff Keene disappeared before Lila ever did. So who recorded the tape after both of them were gone? Next time on Echoes of the Vanished. The lake gives up its secrets, and the line between the living and the forgotten blurs. Who was really controlling the signal? And what if the voice never stopped transmitting? Subscribe to Crime Puzzle HQ. Hit the like button. Turn on the notification bell. And be here when we decode the next frequency. Because in Dover's Hollow, the dead don't rest. They broadcast.